And sometimes, being an innovator and creator, sometimes the ideas don't work out. That's part of being an entrepreneur is like try, fail, adjust, TFA, try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust. And so sometimes, man, there's sometimes where I think I'm crazy, because when you're on the bleeding edge of stuff and trying to continue to improve and change and grow and improve the models and stuff, having a constant improvement mindset, it can be it can be very lonely, right? Because again, no one else is thinking this kind of thing. And so it can be, which is another reason and importance for emotional maturity and emotional intelligence is, can we have enough emotional endurance and stamina and strength to see that idea through? Which is again, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, is critical. You have to have the vision to see something through and the emotional stamina and endurance and strength to endure all that stuff that I said earlier, to endure me thinking myself, man, am I crazy? Right? No one else is thinking this stuff. Am I like nobody else? Am I nuts here? There are definite cons to being an innovator and a creator. A lot of cons. One is people, just almost by definition of being a creator or an innovator, everyone else has the potential to think you're crazy, right? And so, and number one. Number two is change is difficult for a lot of people. That's why one of the other benefits of, God willing, creating, being a part of an organization that, we're wanting to create more emotionally intelligent, more emotionally mature leaders, is that they would be more mentally and emotionally agile, to create agile leaders. The whole leadership agility of an organization is important. And so to learn a whole new way to walk is very, very difficult for a lot of people. And, being an innovator and creator in an organization that, 3 years ago, I feel like we didn't have a lot of very mentally or emotionally agile people, because that we were never growing in the area of emotional intelligence or emotional maturity intentionally. And so as an innovator creator, again, many folks, depending on the mental emotional agility of an organization, can be challenging, because, right, again, when you're way out in front of people and they're like, dude, right, like the iPhone guy, right, Steve Jobs, like, no, we don't, that's crazy, that's dumb, it's never going to work. Well, now the whole world has, started with the iPod and, transition from there. So a lot of folks can think you're crazy. Change is hard for a lot of people. And sometimes, being an innovator and creator, sometimes the ideas don't work out. That's part of being an entrepreneur is like try, fail, adjust, TFA, try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust. And so sometimes, man, there's sometimes where I think I'm crazy, because when you're on the bleeding edge of stuff and trying to continue to improve and change and grow and improve the models and stuff, having a constant improvement mindset, it can be very lonely, right? Because again, no one else is thinking this kind of thing. And so it can be, which is another reason and importance for emotional maturity and emotional intelligence is, can we have enough emotional endurance and stamina and strength to see that idea through? Which is again, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, is critical. You have to have the vision to see something through and the emotional stamina and endurance and strength to endure all that stuff that I said earlier, to endure me thinking myself, man, am I crazy? Right? No one else is thinking this stuff. Am I like nobody else? Am I nuts here? But then I thought, well, man, if I allowed myself to succumb to that thought process, no one would ever make anything. There'd be no, no one would write a book. No one would create widgets or gizmos or books or pens or hard drives, external hard drives or Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, computer speakers, right? No one would create anything if they didn't have the, emotional strength and endurance to see that thing through, even if initially it seems unpopular. But that's why, again, that this emotional growth journey is so important because, man, especially again for leaders and entrepreneurs and influencers and stuff, almost by definition as an entrepreneur, leader, and influencer, you have to, I won't say you have to be creative, but if you're going to create and be a creator of stuff, man, that emotional maturity and strengthening is so, so important. So anyway, I hope that makes sense to you all. And, because I'm very much in this journey, being a creator and innovator. And, there have, again, been a number of times where like, man, am I nuts? Am I crazy for thinking about this stuff? Am I crazy for thinking this stuff? Am I crazy for trying to implement this stuff? Am I crazy trying to see this through? Am I crazy for trying to reinvent the wheel, literally, right? It's like one of my buddies told me this, and it's such a great point. He's like, dude, just kind of talking about innovation and, being creativity and stuff like that. Who would have thought that anyone could improve on the toothpick? Right? Like it's a toothpick. How can you improve on the toothpick? Well, then one day, some dude created a toothpick with a little floss on the end of it, right? Where it's got the toothpick and then it's got the floss between it and then you go floss between your teeth. Who would have thought? But now that guy's a zillionaire, right? Who would have thought that you could, to put sticky stuff on a piece of paper and that would ever be anything? That's crazy idea, right? Post-it notes. Zillionaire. So a lot of times we have to be willing as leaders and influencers and entrepreneurs and creators and innovators to think we're crazy sometimes, to have other people think we're crazy. But here's the thing, as a recovering people pleaser addict, it's so important, in my opinion, you got to be authentic. And again, is every idea going to work out? No. Is every book going to work out? Is every idea going to work out? Is every widget going to work out? No. There's millions of failed books and ideas and widgets and all that kind of stuff. But you got to go through those iterations to find out what does work, to find out the transition from the car to the airplane. And then I think about this. How many, speaking of creating and being innovative, man, how many songs are out there? Millions of songs. How many books are out there? Millions of books. How many types of spoons are out there? How many types of knives are out there? How many types of... creativity is endless. We just have to have the courage and the strength and the fortitude to follow through on our creativity, because I feel like that is, we've got to be authentic and really be not who others want you to be, but who God has called you to be. And I feel like to really see that through of who God has called us to be, we've got to be intentional at developing our emotional toughness and endurance and strength to see our creative ideas through, some that are going to work and some that aren't going to work. And we have to have that emotional strength to make it through the ideas that don't work. Man, that was a failure. Maybe that and it's the whole Thomas Edison. The reporter said, dude, that's 10,000, you had 10,000 failures. He's like, dude, that's 10,000 ways that it didn't work, right? That's a total different mindset. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. Hope that helps. Let's change the world by changing your world, by changing you.